Hello and welcome. My name is Ajaxpost and join me here once again in Transport Fever 2 on the Island Hub series. Or is that in the Island Hub series? I really should get a grip of my language grammar. The grammar of my language. Anyway, in the last episode we completed the passenger connection to the last town on our current map. As I said, the map can evolve, but we now do have all the towns on the map connected for passenger services. So we're going to spend a little time looking at freight and making sure that everyone is getting freight and cargo delivered. We're going to start... we've just turned into 1940, and I was hoping we'd have a slew of new vehicles to play with, but apparently that's not the case. So I'm going to pause the game here for a moment while I settle into a little bit of a melancholy of having nothing new to play with. It's Christmas and I was expecting toys and presents and they didn't turn up. But anyway, no, we are here. We're overlooking one of our earliest freight stations, freight routes, which is Baghdad Oil Well, which delivers oil to all sorts of places. But as you can see, some of it is not being delivered in good time. And that is this oil fuel bulk here, it's called, which is delivering... We're supposed to deliver fuel to Ajaxpost MMX, our freight hub out here south of our hub capital of Ajaxpost. But as you can see, the train there obviously isn't keeping up with the processing requirements. So first off, I'm going to look at that. My slight concern here is that we have two routes coming out of this oil well. The fuel bulk, which was designed to send fuel out, as I said, to the Ajaxpost Epic MMX, our freight hub, for onward delivery throughout the rest of our freight network, and also the oil processing, which was the first step in the refining of oil. So it sends crude oil up here and onward then to the refinery here to be turned back into fuel, which was then fed into our cargo network. But now we've got many more oil refineries and stuff now in use, delivering goodness to all sorts of other industries. And my main concern here is that if we really give delivery power, if we add a lot of capacity to the fuel bulk line, then we might limit the amount of oil coming up here, in particular to the Rangpur oil refinery, which would limit the amount of oil, refined oil, then being sent to the plastics chemical plant here. I always refer to it as a plastics plant, but you know what I mean, the chem plant here, which delivers plastic to our goods factory up here, which then feeds goods into the rest of the network. But I'm hoping, because we've got lots of other oil refineries and oil wells now, like we've got these out here near Dien Bien Phu. In fact, if we look at the oil refinery here, suppliers... Oh, that's interesting. It's only getting oil from that refinery. Whereas, if we look at this crude oil well here, it's actually sending crude oil to two other refineries far north of the station. So it's sending crude oil all the way out here to Jakarta Oil Refinery, which actually is also getting oil from Dien Bien Phu, which again is even further south than Baghdad. It's the way the map works, isn't it? We've seen this before, and I've witted on about it before, that products go all over the shop and the game works it out. So what I'm thinking is, perhaps I needn't worry too much about crude oil coming from Baghdad and going into the Rangpur chemical plant, because we've got enough oil refineries also producing oil and refined oil to ship as needed to the Rangpur chemical plant. So let's have a look at those trains we've got. And I've lost Baghdad. There it is. Here it is. That's it. So this is an old train. It's 13 years old. It's not the oldest one on the map, but it's a bit slow and it doesn't have great capacity, because this oil well is shipping out the full 400. So what have we got here? It is going at a maximum of 43. It's a fairly long route. It's not huge, but I think we could do with a bit more speed. And 108, that's no capacity at all really. So let's replace this. Now, if I look at the other service, this one here, Now that has a China Railways JF1, which I think is a fairly potent, a fairly potent locomotive compared to the one we have on this other route going to Ajaxpost. So you go at 50. Yeah, that's fine. So I think if we manage this vehicle, and we will replace you with, again, I was hoping, when do we get diesels? I should know. I could look it up, but I can't be. Yeah, I'm not too worried, to be honest. I say these things as if I'm worried, but I'm not. Ooh, 62. But you're not very powerful. We want a bit of oomph in these locomotives. 53. Oh, and you are mighty powerful. Okay, how do you compare them? Where's that Chinese? Oh, yeah, that's you there. 50 at 115. Oh, if we put you on, that's a heck of a powerful locomotive. Right. We've also got two other long routes, which I'm going to fiddle with in a moment, once we've got this one out of the way, before we get on to the building of new routes. So we've got you. You can go up to 53. So we want something that carries liquids. And we've got the... you've got you only go 47. Although you do carry 17. 40, no. You go at 50. You only carry 12, mind, but I think we'll take speed. We've got enough power here to take quite a large consist, so let's put a lot of wagons on here. Now you are 134 meters, 143, 152. That should be good. 168 capacity. Right, done. So where is that train? Oh, you're on your way back. Excellent. A mighty looking locomotive it is too. So that's that going. Now a couple of other routes I want to have a look at are running my oldest trains at the moment. And that's Dien Bien Phu and Chengdu. Take Chengdu first, I think. So that's that. This is a very long line. It's possibly one of the longest on the map. And that takes goods from the goods factory here. And it actually, where you're going to Ajaxpost, yeah, carrying goods and plastics. Presumably those plastics are going to go all the way back up to Rangpur. Curious. And also you bringing down combat tools and fuel from the Epic MMX from the freight hub. You're quite profitable, but that's not a big consist. That's not a big load, is it? By any stretch. Yeah, I think we need to bump up our cargo production, to be honest, to make sure all our trains are as fully laden as they can be. Do I want to simply replace that train with a new one? I might do that actually. So what are you? I'll bring you over here, because that one's only 9 years old. There's no need to replace that one yet. So what are you? You are the Russian Class S and the NAFI. And it looks like that capacity of 12 wagons is fine. It's 96. Actually, if we look at what we got down here in Chengdu, yeah, 96 is plenty. I don't think I need to worry too much about the capacity on that. So yeah, we'll replace you then with, that was the Chinese one, wasn't it? Oh, the Russian S. Oh, you're quite an old one. You go at 71, but you're not terribly powerful. You're more powerful. Would you be a better fit for this? You're 200,000 a year more expensive. Okay, let's have a look at that then. So your performance is mediocre, is how you're described. Described as good there, which obviously isn't entirely true. Put the new train on there, I think. So we're going to be actually replacing you entirely. So we'll put the SU on, the more powerful variant. And we'll put those naffies on. We'll keep with the naffy because that means it'll pick anything up that's available. I don't have to go to the trouble of putting on specific wagons. For a 96 capacity, there you go. That's that job done. And we might as well, while we're here, actually replace the locomotive on train 61 as well. So if we get rid of the, you are still the S, aren't you? Yes. And replace you with the SU. That looks good. Excellent. Right, so that's that done. And the other one was the DMBN Foo line, wasn't it? There's also these old Manila ones. Well, look, I might look at those off camera because it's a fairly simple, low-key route, as it were. And there's 2 trains here. So what do we have? You are going at 50. Again, DMBN Foo is what's all the way up here. It's a moderately long route. It's not quite as long as the route to Chengdu, but it's a fair distance. You're going at 50, and you're a mix of flat cars and box cars. So what are you actually carrying? Your train 31, your train 38. Yeah, I think the issue we've got here is getting stuff back down to the hub from DMBN Foo. Yeah, as you can see, it's just overloaded with commat there. So I think what I might do is replace this mix consist and get kind of cheaty again, I'm afraid, and replace it with naffies, which will pick up anything. And we will replace both trains, I think, so we'll manage both these. And you are the China Railways JF1, which I think we've seen before is a fairly good 50 at 150. Maybe put that new Russian on. It's a little bit faster and that much more powerful. Don't think we've got anything else which really competes with it. Because up to this point, the JF1 from China was one of our most powerful. Okay, the Russian is a bit more and it goes faster, but we don't. That's a passenger express, isn't it? He says, as if he knew what he was talking about. Okay, we'll put you on. What's the actual capacity on this train? And the capacity is 96. I think we could put a few more on, certainly with a wagon, a locomotive this powerful. So the naffy, now you are getting quite long here, 189. Okay, so we're going to have to check our stations, make sure they're long enough for this. Replace both of them for 23.5 million. I can afford it. I've got 172 million in the bank. Well, I did have. There you go. So you're an oil train. You're a different train entirely. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 180, isn't it? So this platform needs to be longer. Okay. So let's get rid of all that. Pause you for a second, and let's make this a teeny bit longer. It's not terminals. I want to configure it. So it's going to be a platform, it's going to be cargo. There you go. So 5 times 40 is roughly 200, so it should have plenty of room for these new long consists. And the track, you can be high speed. There you go. Ooh, and you're not overflowing anymore. That's a good sign. We'll put some of this in, and it's not catenaried. We don't need to worry about bridge and tunnel height and depth, do we? Because there are no tunnels and bridges here. That's good. That's good. And a little bit of a crossy over thing. That will do. And to there. Do I want to put signals here? Oh, why not? You're not one way. That's good. And there. Have we got electric signals here? I think that line is pretty much electric signals. It's not, but I'm not going to worry about that. Oh, I should paint that, shouldn't I? It doesn't look like it's an untended station. It needs to be properly ballast. Ballast, you're under gravel. There you go, ballast. Just put you in there, like so. So it doesn't look quite so untidy. Job done. Okay, and at the other end, actually I want to keep that. I want to make sure I know which platform it's going into at Ajaxpost. So you're coming in here. And the terminals on this station, that is probably a long terminal. It is. Yep, that is plenty long enough for DMBN food. Excellent. Do we have a train coming into either of them? Probably not. Yeah, you're the train coming back. Lovely. Okay, oh, we're losing a sawmill. Where's that? Port Moresby. Am I going to need to worry about that? Do I want to worry about that sawmill closing? Ooh, we've got logs there. I'm not going to worry about that. I don't think. No, so that's fair enough. I think we've got enough logs going through. That's good. Any more old vehicles I want to worry about? Not especially. No, so I'll worry about that little one. The Manila Logs one is just this little route here. That's just a tiny little thing. I'll do that off camera if you don't mind. Okay, so the main focus of this episode is going to be adding in at least one more, if not a couple more, freight routes, and I'm just seeing these very overloaded stations here. Okay, not overloaded because I've made you very big, but you have got a lot of backlog there. What have we got? Just the one train on there. Your rate is 360. But then, yeah, you are pulling material from 2 coal mines effectively. So you'd need to be more. So I'm thinking, I don't think we've got room there for 2 trains. We might just make those trains bigger, though you are quite big at the moment, I think. Capacity is 144 and your length is 1. I could make it bigger. Okay, I'm just going to quickly do that. Quickly do that. So, which train are you? You're that. Your performance isn't great, but do we need to worry too much about that? Actually, what is your power? 1280. Okay, we'll put a couple more of these gondolas. You are just the gondola, aren't you? I'll assume it's the gondola. It looks a bit like, no, not the 31 mile an hour one. It's not a boxcar, it is you. Okay, so put a couple more on there. And where was the train, the coal train? Okay, we'll put a couple more gondolas on here. There you go. Hopefully that'll keep that backlog a bit more under control, bring more raw materials into the steel mill, get more steel coming out of here, heading up towards the Rangpur goods factory at the end of the day. Anyway, I was looking at adding new freight routes. So the first one I'm going to do, I think, is into Georgetown, the last of the towns connected to our passenger network. Now, before I finished when I finished the last episode, and I was doing that little bit of a cab ride, I realised, as I said in the video, I annotated the video, I didn't have the signals on the track, which wasn't terribly important because there was just one train running there. But I also then realised I hadn't actually connected the station building to the town. Yeah, stupid. Yeah, ridiculously. Yeah, forgetful. That's me. I've done that now. As you can see, the passenger numbers are doing reasonably well. Oh, we've got 2 trains on there now. I think you should be alright, generally speaking. But it will be even more alright if we put cargo in here. So we've added, since the video was recorded, the last video, I've added a cargo platform, and we'll just need to connect that up to our freight hub in Ajaxpost, which is here, and we should have, I think, space. So if we bring this lines view up just around here, that's it. Yeah, in fact we've got, yeah, those two shorter platforms are used. Is this looks like a short platform. It is a short, well, it's a split platform. It's not terribly short. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in length. So that's is that 240 in length? So that's quite a long split platform. So we've got a platform there which we can use for this as well. But what I'm thinking actually is I might want to change those round, because that green line is Manila, which is a tiny little train. Tiny little train. Whereas the Chengdu and Manila Tools bulk are slightly longer. Yeah, I think Chengdu warrants going into a longer platform. So can we get the Chengdu? Actually, can I do it on here? Can we get, where's Chengdu? There you are. Can we get that to go into platform 9? No, it can't, because couldn't connect all the alternate terminals. Aha, okay. In which case, the alternate on the Chengdu line would be whatever that other platform is there, which would be 9. But we can't do that as yet. If I take the alternate off for the time being. Okay, so there's no issue. We can get that over there. Why can you not get to... Let's bring that line back up so I can see exactly what we're doing. Right, so you're coming in here, going out there. And yeah, there is no way over to that other platform. Can I put in a bit of track here to make that possible? No, not easily, because yeah, there's a switch just there which corresponds to the can I? No, so I think I need to get rid of that. Not exactly what I planned to do, to be honest, but okay, let's get rid of this. Right, let's see if I can make this work again. So we've got that, that's fine. Can we put in, it's going to be slow, but we'll live with that. And that. And everything works again. Awesome. Can we now put Chengdu into platform 10? Oh, which is probably the other end of the station, isn't it? Yes, it's the other side of that split platform. We don't want it to go there. We want it to go into 11. Ah, looks like we can do that. That's better. Okay, so you can go in there, and what we'll do is we'll move the Manila line into where Chengdu went, which was down here somewhere. And there's no way you can do that. Okay, we need to get you across there. How can I do that? What if we take these tracks away from here and have this curve over there and then try and get some tracks in the middle? Okay, let's have a crack at that. Well, that was curious, wasn't it? I think I spent a lot of time there just rebuilding what I already had. Probably with slightly less good switches and junctions, to be honest. But we've got the small train going into these shorter end platforms here, which is fine, I think. The slight confusion here is because these extra buildings here also count as platforms. So the actual platforming numbering is a little bit odd here. Again, because I've got the platforms in the middle here, it just makes life a little bit more complicated for me. So this one bit of track here, for example, serves 2 platforms, 7 and 6. Yeah, I'm not quite sure why I made that decision when I put these platforms on, but I'm going to live with it, I think, just to teach me a lesson, if nothing else. So what are we doing? Oh, we're simply trying to add Georgetown to our freight hub, which we can now do, I think, because we have got a long platform available here. Yeah, so our shorter trains for Manila go in here to the end stations, end platforms, and our long Chengdu line comes in here to a much longer split platform. And we've got this platform here, which is currently just an alternate for Chengdu, which we can use for Georgetown. So, do I need to? I probably ought to put some more signalling in here, shouldn't I? Just to make this a little bit more sensible and protected. So we're going to have a one-way signal. It's going to be one way, yeah, going in there. And also there. I don't know if we want any signals in here. Probably not, to be honest, because that could block the switch. But we might have one. That, yeah, the gradients here, perhaps I should have smoothed it out or something earlier, but the gradients here are a bit awful. We can put you in there, I think, without too much worrying. And likewise here, you can go there. And I'm still getting no red exclamation mark, so that's all good. Anyway, Georgetown. It's all the way over there. And we're going to the Epic MMX, the freight hub here. So I'm thinking we could come down here on the main Manila route for a while. And we're not going to bulldoze our way through the town. And we'll probably want to join in with this main line, which the passenger service is using at the moment. So I'm thinking we'll come around this side, the west side of Manila. So we'll cut off from here and then just head off down there to join with the passenger service going on there. Does that make sense? I think it does. Right, so I will again hand over to a bit of a soundtracky speed buildy thing. And we'll see if we can get this new freight route set up for Georgetown. So there we have it. And we have our brand new freight route into Georgetown. And it's using the proper long platform, alternating with the Chengdu one. And as you can see, it's going all the way out here. This is a very long route. Very long indeed. And coming down here, and I probably ought to make sure that we have got some sort of local delivery option as well. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how efficient this interchange here is. But nobody's complaining, so I'm going to be happy with it, I think, for the moment. We're going to need some signalling though here, aren't we? So let's get some signals in. Not going to be one way. So we'll put you there and there for on the way out. And you'll be crossing over there to there. I think these signals here will actually do quite nicely. Yeah, in and out. That's fine. So where are we delivering to? Where's the demand? In Georgetown. Okay, as we noted last time, we put our station bang in the middle of the residential area, so we're going to need to get it out to the industrial zone and the commercial zone, which only currently require food and fuel. Okay, they're products that I think we have quite a good supply of, so we should be okay. But where is the station delivering to? It's missing out quite a bit. We're going to need a delivery system from the cargo end. Now we put our cargo platform on this side and our cargo building there, so we could have, yeah, we could put our cargo truck stop in here. So let's, if I get rid of, so what we'll do is we'll put in our cargo building. It's going to be one of those, like so, I think. I think that building is going to have to go, basically. Yeah, I'm sorry, you're in the way, because these truck stops are actually quite large. We're going to need to, yeah, get you in there, aren't we? Okay. There you go. And you're not going to get stuck behind any buses, and the buses are not going to get stuck behind any of you. That is lovely. So we'll wait for full. Not too long, don't think. That's more than enough, I think. There probably isn't going to be too much delivered to start with. This station does need changing. Actually, annex. No, I'm going to call it transfer, because we're transferring goods from the train station to the road route. Now, trucks then. What do we want? We want multi-purpose vehicles for this. And it's going to be the tarpaulins, isn't it? So we've got the gas flatbed, which carries 8 at 37. I got the Opal. You're horse-drawn, so your emissions are quite low. Yet strange. We're not going at 40. Yeah, I think we'll go with the Blitz. 4 on just to show willing. And you are going to be coloured that blue, I think. Should be pretty much the same colour as the route. There you go. Well, I need to put you on the route as well, don't I? You got local delivery. Now we do need a train for the goods to come down from the hub. And let's say depot number 3. Going to need to buy a locomotive which goes quite fast. You're good. We've seen you only go 53 though. I'm tempted, to be honest, by the Russian. It goes fast, which I said previously was a passenger, high-speed passenger speed, wasn't it? I think for that kind of distance, we're going to need that. And you're reasonably powerful, so I think I'm happy with that choice. Cargo, we're going to have to use the universal again, I think, for the time being. We won't put too much capacity on there for the moment. Dare say it won't make much money for quite a while. So we'll buy you. Can I put you on Georgetown bulk delivery? I can. And we're away. So as our new Georgetown freight train comes in for its first pickup, it might pick something up, who knows. We also see one of our newly enlarged DMBN food trains coming in. I don't think we've got any problem with the length of the platform there. No, it's huge, isn't it, that platform? So you should be fine. And you're carrying a good mix of cargo, which is lovely. So how much money are you going to make me? Lots, I hope. $1.4 million. I'm okay with that. And you're carrying back lots of tools and food and some plastics, which will get transferred eventually into the Rangpur goods factory. Georgetown won't be making any deliveries anytime soon, so we've got to wait for all the industries to realise there is demand in Georgetown before that starts making money. So what we're going to do, rather than wait for that to pick up, I'm going to end the episode here. We may well come back for another little... Oh, hang on. What's going on here? Train 77. That's you. Why have you got no... I obviously picked the wrong depot. Darn it. Okay, can I then duplicate that and get a train which goes onto the correct depot, the right track? Okay, so I'll sell you. Let's just see where train 78 goes. Yes, you're coming out of one of the further depots. Okay, I made the wrong depot choice there, obviously. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to say farewell for now. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Transport Fever 2, the Island Hub series. If you've enjoyed this, it'd be great to hear from you. A little bit of a like would be lovely. Other than that, of course, you could, if you feel like it, add a comment. Yes, just drop something into the comments box below. Anything about what I'm doing with the game, if I should be improving something, if you feel like having something named, a vehicle, a station, an industry, even a town, if you're so inclined, then again, just drop something in the comments box below. That would be awesome. It's always good to hear from you. And of course, if you've not already subscribed to the channel, you could do that now. I have a feeling that train is still at the wrong platform, waiting for free path. Why? Are you trying to get to Georgetown, are you? Anyway, yes, if you've not already subscribed, you could do that, and I'll attempt to fix this problem here. Yeah, I don't know why you've stopped there. Don't know why at all. But there you go. I should stop waffling and say farewell. So yes, once again, thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Transport Fever 2. If you've enjoyed this, train 25 now, mutually blocked. I don't know what's going on. I'll fix that, and I'll see you again in the next episode. But from me, Ajaxpost, until then, bye-bye for now.